Welcome in, guys. Now, as I said yesterday in my NFL recap, I really wanted to talk about the Giants and Danny Dimes, Danny Jones. And 4 years ago, he was drafted in the NFL draft. He was 6th overall in the first round pick for the Giants a number of years ago. And you look at him, and again, at that point in time, you look at the quarterback class you had. Dwight Haskins, God rest his soul, he was part of that draft class. Garner Minshew was part of that draft class now, who is in Indiana now. And then you look at Danny Dimes. Now, I know he's an okay quarterback. I'm not saying like he's the worst quarterback. Again, there's a lot of bad quarterbacks in the NFL, but he's a decent level quarterback. But he's no starter. And again, you look at this Giants team, especially in 2022. I think a lot of people in 2022 was thinking, oh, this Giants team. Again, that roster is a dumpster fire still. You even have Evan Neal in the team. But the thing is, you have a new head coach and a new GM in New York with the Giants, but you keep the same quarterback. Now, I'm all for keeping the quarterback and see what you can get out of him with Brian Daboll, because Joe Judge was a stupid ass fucking head coach from the Bill Belichick winning tree. But again, if you're going to double down on an old regime with a previous regime's quarterback, you have to go all in. No pun intended. You have to go all in, and you have to get better weapons around him. Saquon got Barkley, who was not good enough. Kenny Galladay. You have Evan Neal, Mike Brina. You have Mike Brina in the team that you got this year from the Bills, which I think is a good addition. But again, the offensive line stinks in my opinion. It's one of the worst. The offensive line, Matt Breida in the last game had 30 yards, 14 attempts in the last game. But Evan Neal was a good draft pick in 2022. He was a good draft pick. But you need more than that. You need better weapons around it. And Danny Dimes, after that big 2022 season when they made the playoffs the first time in a number of years, they decided instead of giving him the franchise tag, we're going to give him a big, massive contract. And the contract's here. They've now given him a contract here till at least he's 29. So now you look at them now. So in 2022 or 2023, he's 26. He's going to have $1 million this year. No bonuses this year. So that means that they're in cap space. They have $15 million in cap space. In dead cap for this year, they have $81 million in dead cap space. Then next year it goes down to $69 million down in dead cap space. Then $22 million in cap space. Then in his final year of his contract, when he's 29 years old, you ultimately have $47 million in dead cap space. That's how much. Again, he's an okay level quarterback. He's not worth this big money deal. Like, if you look at that quarterback class, especially you had Cal Murray in that class, you had other people. If I'm the New York Giants, you need to get yourself a quarterback that's going to actually be the guy and find out who that guy's going to be. Maybe I said maybe Trey Lance. You should have gone for Trey Lance in my opinion. Like, he ain't going to play in Dallas. I'm sorry for everybody that thinks he's going to play in Dallas. He's not. Trey Lance would have been better off in New York with Brian Daboll, because Brian Daboll would have got the best out of Trey Lance. We would have seen the best of Trey Lance in New York, and you could have got yourself potentially a franchise quarterback. But you want to stick with Danny Dimes till he's 29 years old, when his leadership isn't there, his pocket awareness isn't there either. It doesn't help that obviously, yes, he doesn't have the wide receivers and the running backs to help him, but this is the problem. Like, the Giants from the previous regime, they want to stick with their guy that they drafted back in 2019, and it hasn't worked out. I think that, again, they should have gone for somebody in this draft, maybe gone for like an Anthony Richardson or gone for somebody else, traded away a couple of places and get yourself an Anthony Richardson or a Will Levis. But because, again, in a couple of years, you could look at a Will Levis or an Anthony Richardson if they continue what they're doing in the NFL, especially Anthony Richardson, and if he gets this Colts team actually, if he gets his Colts team going places and becoming playoff contenders, then you think, shit, we should have had that. I mean, look at in previous years, like Patrick Mahomes could have become a franchise guy for the 49ers back in 2017. And look at him now. Like, he's now a Chiefs franchise guy. He's a two-time future Hall of Famer. You know, that could have been a 49ers quarterback answer. My point is that you had a chance to potentially to build up a young quarterback and then maybe a Trey Lance or somebody in this draft, and you kind of stuck with Danny Dimes. To me, it feels like it's going to really hurt the Giants' development and how they're going to progress. Because Brian Daboll's a fantastic head coach. He is absolutely fantastic. And the job he did last year with that roster was, again, credit to him to getting them to a playoff team. But he needs a lot of help with his team. This team stinks. Offensively, it stinks. Defensively, it stinks. And the big problem is Danny Dimes. He's the problem, and he's not the quarterback that they need. That's going to take it to the next level. He's an okay level starting quarterback, but he's not the guy.